Everybody, I hope all is well as we move through the end of the summer. Glad the weather's stayed warm for as long as it has, but we are moving into the fall. So I have the autumn edition of our wealth perspectives. So I'll just share a screen with you, go through it quickly as I usually do, and I'll leave a link below the video for you. If anything's of interest to you or you want to have a deeper look, go ahead and click on that link below and it will give you the PDF version. So first article here, just speaking about what kind of where we are in the markets. Obviously, we had a big dip in March, April in the markets with all the tariff talk. Big rally since then, a lot of it driven by technology. So just talking a little bit about how technology has played a huge factor in how quickly things can move, both in the markets, but of course in life in general. So some interesting conversation pieces there. Looking at the RESP in the next article here, incredibly important tool for saving for education. There's $7,200 worth of free grant money, matching your contributions that you can have per child. And in some provinces and in some individual cases, there's even more. BC, for example, has a $1,200 education grant on top of that $7,200. So look to use this. Many ways you can use it, and many ways to add to it. The sooner you get the funds in, up to the maximums annually, the better it's going to compound and grow for when it's needed in education. But you can look into that. A little bit on the behavioral side here, looking at the markets. Of course, we've had this rally up. It's been strong markets over the last few years. We, of course, had negative markets in 2022. So some of the things you can do to kind of remove the stress, of course, having a financial plan tailored to you, keeping that updated is rule number one for us. But the more you look at it and the negative news headlines around create that negative bias. So some ideas there. And of course, the last piece there, looking at time being the most valuable asset, most undervalued asset in people's lives, making sure you're taking good use of your time to do the things you want to do. Looking at RIF withdrawals here, we factor a lot of these in with the planning to figure out the best ways to pull money from RIF accounts and the various options you have once you pulled that money. Number 7, for example, topping up other accounts like your TFSA. If you don't need those funds from the RIF, that doesn't mean you just pull them out, have them sit in your bank account. You can still have those funds working for you. You can pull in kind, so you don't have to sell investments necessarily out of your RIF accounts and add them to non-registered accounts or TFSAs if you have room. Some other considerations there, including income splitting for tax purposes. Looking at the market in general, we've talked about this in some of the other videos I've put out. The valuations are high, especially in those tech companies dragging up the S&P 500 valuations. So we are at a high point right now, not necessarily the highest, but something to consider for sure. And just a case for diversifying globally and making sure your risk levels are rebalanced back to where they should be when certain sectors and certain geographic categories are rising. You want to make sure that your asset levels are back where they should be and that you're diversified in those asset allocations well enough to withstand some corrections, which are inevitable in the market. Last but not least here, looking at strategic retirement withdrawals. Again, something that we include in our planning when you're putting funds in as you are working. What's the best option there? When you're taking funds out as you retire, what are the best options? How do we reduce your overall tax bill? How can we use these various accounts in the best way possible to meet your objectives? So looking at RIFs, looking at RSPs potentially, if you have a low income year, can we pull those out first? You don't want to end with your legacy being cut in half by the CRA and tax issues. So lots of options there, including potentially insurance to cover the larger tax bill that could be sitting with your estate in the end. So lots of information there. Again, went through it quickly. I'll leave the link below. Hope you enjoy it. Any questions or want to book a meeting about any of this, please do. We'll leave the link to my calendar as always, but feel free to reach out by email or phone as well. All right, take care, and we'll see you next time.